Okay, so I have this plastic Rolodex, and as you can see, it says Rolodex on it. And it's one of those that sit on your desk. And I am going to paint it with a metallic Rust-oleum in gold. So let's see how it turns out. I have no idea what's going to happen with this because it's partly metal, partly plastic. And we'll be right back. Paint is still wet, so I will wait a little bit and then flip it over and paint the other side, but it looks like it's going to be perfect. Show you my completed project for the Scrapbooking with Me Boutique December kit, which was the year in review featuring Webster's pages. I guess it's These Are the Days collection. So I had this Rolodex sitting around, and it wasn't gold before, it was black. But I didn't want it black, I wanted it something more trendy, and I took a can of gold paint, which I will put the information in my descriptions, and I spray painted it. I used very little paint. As soon as I saw how perfect it came out, this is a combination of metal and plastic. These areas are plastic. The frame is actually metal. As soon as I saw how well it took to the paint, I was scoping my whole room trying to figure out, ooh, what will I paint next? So I made a special occasions calendar using the kit, and basically what my thought was to put something that I can keep on my desk, and every month, or rather, I only have a few pages done so far. I do have my cover, which is that one, and it says "Don't Forget," and the pieces are from Carpe Diems by Snap, and they are the cardstock and ephemera pieces. So some of these pieces are from there, like for example, the "Don't Forget" is from there. I used my good old trusty label maker, which is a Dymo, which I've had, I don't know, forever. And the paper is from the collection. So if you go on, you would see January next. And the wood chips are Lucky Dip, which is also available in the boutique. And I hand cut out my my tabs, and these are Marion Smith planner stamp. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but we also had that in the boutique for a long time. But it's one of her stamp sets that are for the planners. They're really tiny. So that's January, and in the back I just left it because it was double-sided. I left it that color. I have blank pages so that I can fill in when I get to January. Then I have February, and the little dog, which is so cute, is from the ephemera pack. The heart was one of the cutouts that came in the envelope. And the back is just white because that's what was on the back of that card. Then we have March. And March, I believe, was the March page, and I just wrote, the word spring was in white. So I used my Wink of Stella pen, and I wrote out spring so you could actually see it. I used one of the ephemera pieces. I used a piece of wood flower from the Lucky Dip collection. The little piece of twine, not twine, baker's, yeah, well, actually it is twine. Baker's twine is also, it also came in the kit. And then I used some of these gems or bling from my stash. The back of this one is like a yellow color, so I left it in that yellowish, it's a very light yellow color. Then we come to April, and it said brainstorm on it, so I just kind of cut around it. It was a little bit bigger. I think it was a 4x6 size paper. I had this is a Prima, it was in my stamp. I'm sure I bought it in a boutique a long time ago. And these little hearts were in that little chevron envelope Then for the month of May, I hand cut the butterfly, fussy cut it off of one of the papers. I used Inspired, which was one of the ephemera pieces. And I also used the Kaiser Craft gold spray that came in the kit. It's probably one of my favorite, it probably is my favorite gold spray so far. I don't have too many golds, but I definitely like it more than I like the Prima Bloom sprays. I think it's richer. The gold is more intense and it's less opaque. I think that's what I like most about it. Then we come to June and I used a little typewriter and it says make it happen. I took one of the flowers and I cut it in half. I popped up make it happen. And then June again is stamped from the Marion Smith stamp. And I double-sided this one because the back was white and I just used the gold from one of the pieces. It's like a gold color. It's not foil, it's just a regular pattern paper. So we get to my first birthday person. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. Wrong way. And that's my daughter. Her birthday is June 3rd. So I printed out a bunch of pictures on a 4x6, which this is my first trial run and I kind of messed up. But it's a 4x6. I use my selfie printer and I printed a bunch of little pictures of people I wanted to put on here. Her birthday is June 3rd, so I used my label maker again, put the date in, wrote her name, and then on the back, I don't have anything written on the back because she lives still at home, but you know, once she goes back to, you know, it never happens where she's not home for her birthday. But if she, let's say for example, she was one of my other relatives, I would put their address in the back and any other pertinent information, like maybe likes, things that they like, or for example, if they're married, maybe an anniversary date, or you know, other special information about that person. All right, so then we have a few more blanks, and then we get to July, and then I use the same, one of the papers again, it says Summer Sweetness. I use the star from one of the die cuts. Hello Weekend is from the ephemera pack, and then again there's July, which was one of the stamps from Marion Smith. Then we get to August, and it says fill your heart with what's important and be done with all the rest. The heart is one of the die cuts. I sprayed it with the gold spray, which you really can't tell because it's a craft paper, but there is some shimmer to it. I tied a little bit of ribbon, not ribbon, I'm sorry, baker's twine that came in the kit, and that was my August. And then I sprayed the back, let's see if you can see that, just to give it some, you know, because it was white, so I wanted to give it a little bit of color. I just sprayed the back of the August. When we get to September, now September is a busy month for us, so it says anything can happen, child, anything can be. With the finger pointing to it, I thought that was cute. That also was in the die cuts that came in the little envelope. And the first one is my husband, whose birthday is September 4th. I wrote his name, there's his little picture, and then the paper said outlook good. It was actually like an 8-ball, but I cut that part out just so that there could be a little color back there. I photomatted his picture with a gold foil paper, as you can see there, and then I just cut these little strips of gold to give it a little, you know, make it a little fancier. I also used Tim Holtz Hickory Smoke and Weathered Wood Distress inks to distress my edges on this one. And then the next one is my youngest son, who's September 5th. And I put his name on it. I popped up the star, and I used my Wink of Stella pens in black to glitter up my hearts that are around his picture. And then the next one is, there's a few more birthdays in between, I just haven't gotten to them, is September 21st, and this is one of the new babies in our family, or actually the only new baby in our family right now. I used my Wink of Stella pen to color in the Maid and the Love, as you can see it glittering there. And then I used a gold one to do with, and then I used a black Wink of Stella to do the heart. And I also used the same pink over on the little flower border and on the edge of the circle. And there's her little picture. She was born September 21st. And because, I mean, if you want to add the year, which I did in the back, as you can see right there, like I want to remember when she gets older what year she was born so I can keep track of her age. I put her date of birth. You know, eventually I'll put in her address. I didn't want to do that on, you know, so that it would be on the video, so I'll do that later. You can even do labels for, like return labels and type everything out. If you have like a Christmas list that you do every year, you can even add that label on here. That way you already have the address. And then the last card that I've completed is my BFF, Sandy, and her birthday, September 29th. And I used the Weathered Wood Distress ink to distress the little top note. I put her picture on it and I popped it up, and then I die cut these little hearts using, oh, I can't remember who's, they're tiny little hearts. I don't remember the brand, but we have them in the boutique as well. And God knows where on, oh, here it is. It is by Paper Smooches, and it's a little heart, Wise Dies they're called, and it's called Tiny Hearts. So I cut out all these little hearts. There's 3, and then the little arrows, I just cut it twice. And then hello is already on this little piece of card. And that's what hers looks like, and I can again add her anniversary date and all the other, you know, important info on there. This is probably my favorite card, and this is the October one, and this was on the October paper, the witch with the cat. I cut around it, and what I did for a background was I used Distress inks as a watercolor agent. I want to say I used Wilted Violet, I believe that's Broken China, and either Black Soot or Hickory Smoke. I don't remember which one I used as the gray. I think this is Hickory Smoke. And what I did was I put it on my on one of those stamp blocks. I have a big Prima one that's pretty big, and then I just use my watercolor water pen to pick up the color. The witch and the cat, I used a clear Wink of Stella pen, and as you can see, and also on the line, actually maybe it was black, not clear. And if you look at it, oh, there you go. You can see the shimmer on it. Love this one. And then on the back there is just a little pattern paper with hearts and stuff. November says, oh shoot, and there's a bunch of cameras. I used some gold stickles, and I also had this little wood veneer camera, which I also stickled, and that became November. Simple but cute. And then the back of November, I did put a pattern paper on it so it wouldn't be plain white. And then the last month is December, and it says, well, that was fun. I used the heart with the arrow, and the paper is from the December sheet. I also used some gold tape, washi tape, and the back of that one is the combination of 2 papers. Let's see if you can see that. Combination of 1 page, but it was like, it was already cut off, so I, you know, used both pieces because I thought it looked pretty like that. And I wrapped the gold chevron washi tape around the back. So this is my project. The kit can be found at Scrapbooking with Me Boutique. All the information will be in my descriptions. Please take a look and think about joining our group. She has great prices, and this kit, I believe, is still available. There may be 2 left, if I'm not mistaken. So if you are interested in it, I suggest you run on over there. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.